Hey, Shalom Shalom, Rav Yoshi. I wanted to try and knock out at least one part of this video. I'm having the darndest time with this Matthew 7 series. And it's really not just Matthew 7. This is really the sermon discourse on the mount there in Galilee. And so, as we begin in the chapter, I've come to some inescapable conclusions. Let me just be honest with you. Let me just speak plainly with you. Are you sure you want to know the truths that's found in Matthew chapter 5 through chapter 7? Because a lot of you aren't going to want to know these truths. And I'm asking you, because I just don't think you're going to want to know them. Some of you may think you have a handle on everything there is to have a handle on. And I'm about to peel your wig back. There's a reason that I'm asking you. Because once I tell you, I can't take it back. It's on video, and my words are out there. And I won't be able to take back what I put out there. I won't have a reason, and you won't have an excuse. See, right now you have an excuse. You can claim ignorance. You just didn't know. And in the Haba Olam, you might be one of those people who barely make it to the kingdom of heaven. But you're in the Haba Olam. You're not really in the kingdom of heaven. You're in the world to come. You can have a second chance to get things right. And people go, isn't that reincarnation? No, you're still the same you. You're just getting a second chance. You qualified for the second round. That's kind of what the Haba Olam is. Qualification for the second round. 1,000 years to get right what you couldn't get right on this earth the first time. Still you. You're not reincarnated. You're just given a second chance. Do I believe that? Yeah, wholeheartedly. I believe there's going to be a 1,000-year reign where people will get a second chance who were this close or just barely got in. They'll have a chance to get things right. There'll be many people. And here's why. It says that some on that day will come and say, Lord, Lord. English, sorry for those sacred namers. FYI, just a quick note. If it's a sacred name, I don't like speaking it all the time because then it diminishes the sacredness of that name. So many will come on that day and say, Lord, Lord. Kyrios, Kyrio. Kyrie, Kyrie, that's the Greek. That surprisingly enough is the same title that Caesar also held. And interesting enough, later on one of the popes held. So it kind of tells us it's a title of the popes, and so it kind of tells us that, that's maybe where their religion is. Kyria meant God on earth. That's what the title was for Caesar. He was a God on earth. Anyways, Matthew 7:21, it kind of like hits home the fact, yes, I'm looking for my Bad Kadesha. Too much stuff, not enough rabbi time. Alright, Matthew chapter 5, or chapter 7, excuse me, where we're at here says this. 21, I was right. Not everyone that saith unto me, Kyrie, Kyrie, shall enter into the Malkut Shamayim, the kingdom of heaven. So he's not there. We're not on the kingdom of heaven. We're not there yet. It's not the kingdom of heaven that we're talking about. We're talking about, the judgment that takes place here. And we're talking about Malkut Shamayim, the kingdom of heaven. Not everyone who says Adonai, Adonai in the Hebrew, Maria, Maria in the Peshitta, Kyrie, Kyrie in the Greek, Lord, Lord in the English. And I don't want to hear it from the sacred namers. If you think you have the sacred name, pay attention. Not everyone who says to me, insert whatever you call him here, shall enter the kingdom of Malkut Shamayim, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in Shamayim. So you can have the name and still not make it. That's what he's saying right there in Hebrew. Okay? I don't know if you can get a good glimpse of this. There's the English, and there's the Ivrit. Okay, so not everyone who says to me, Adonai, Adonai, is going to make it to the Malkut Shamayim. But he who does the will of my Father, which is in Shamayim. Let's take this section. He makes it very clear that not everyone There's a lot of people out there saying his name, and not every single one of them are going to make it to the Malkut Shamayim. Why? Well, the disqualification is they didn't do the will of the Father. They may have known his name. They may have known the sacred name. The secret, secret society, hush-hush name that only the elite know. They may know the name, whatever name you call him. And I'm not saying you can call him Allah or you can call him some other pagan name. I'm saying that if you think just because you know Yahashua or Yeshua or Yahshua, and that'll get you into the kingdom because you know that name, it's not. Here's where the rubber meets the road. These next passages, I'm not sure you really want to know this, because these next passages clarify. Many are going to come. In fact, the next verse says very clearly, many will say to me, in that day or on that day, Adonai, Adonai, did we not prophesy in your name, cast out devils, and do many miracles, or work powers of wonder, or mighty works in your name? And then it says, and he will declare to them, and I will profess to them, I will make known to them. I will put forth this declarative statement. Depart from me. Okay? You can have the name and even have power in that name. And he's still going to say, depart from me. Are you sure you want to know this? He's going to say, depart from me, I don't know you. In the King Jimmy, it says, ye workers of iniquity. Later on, Yochanan writes that all iniquity is Torahlessness or lawlessness. So all sin, you workers of sin, you're iniquitous because you're fighting against the Torah. And that Hebrew word is connected to Psalm 6:8, where the word actually means idolatrous. So sin is idolatry, and all idolatry is sin. Kind of a catch-22 thing there going on in my head. It's just like this. Anyways, and I will profess to them, I never knew you. We never had an intimate relationship. I will declare, I'll make that statement made public. I will put it out there on Front Street. I don't know you. You don't know me. Because if you had, you'd have done the will of my Father. That's my paraphrase. I'm not trying to put words in the master's mouth. But that's what the Greek conveys, and that's what the Hebrew conveys. I don't know you, and you certainly don't know me. We don't have a relationship. I don't know you. You, workers of iniquity, King Jimmy. New American Standard is, you who practice lawlessness. And that's a closer translation, a closer, more accurate translation. You who practice lawlessness. To practice means you do it till you get good at it. Lawlessness, ness, means to be in a state of law, to be in a state of without the law, lawless. You're without the law. Anomia in the Greek means, first definition of anomia means to be against or without intentionally. To intentionally be without the Torah. To intentionally be against and without the Torah. This is what Yeshua is saying to people who went around casting out demons, doing miracles, and prophesying in his name. Yeah, you did all these wonderful things. That's really great. But you didn't even keep the Torah. And people say, hold on, Rav Yoshi. You just crossed the line. You just became one of them. You just said a no-no. And so I'll catch you up on the next video. Shalom.